Okay. You can have one, you can have two, but I told you already, minimum must be two because that is the requirement of the question. Problem statement. That means problem statement is like, okay, I can give you an example. Example that, okay, I'm a farmer. Okay, for example, I'm a farmer. Okay, I say Mr. X is a farmer. So now he's interested in knowing what is the result of using new fertilizer towards the crops, whether they will produce more or less. So, but based on the previous year, you have the previous data. You say, okay, if it's in good weather, so they will produce like one rambutan trees. It can produce about the mean weight of rambutan that produced by the tree in the orchard for the previous year is this much. So now he's trying to use organic fertilizer. Okay. Yeah. A better fertilizer. You want to know whether the mean weight per tree, okay, that produced by the orchard will be higher or lower. So now you have this kind of judgment. You see or not? The way you're right, after I read through a few of you have no judgment at all. What am I going to refer to? What sort of value? I said I got a rambutan orchard. Okay. So I say, okay, the mean weight per tree, rambutan produced by a tree is about 3,000. Okay, I don't say it's about. Okay, from the previous experience, it is 300 kg. Okay, 300 kg rambutan can. Okay, you have to know the, okay, 300 kg. Okay, so now you're trying to use a new fertilizer, see whether the mean weight of rambutan produced per tree by the orchard will increase or decrease. So you say the orchard is very big. So you randomly pick, then, okay, so that one is after that. So that is a problem statement. Then you can also say, you want to claim that the proportion by using the new fertilizer, proportion of rambutan trees that will produce more than 350 kg of rambutan is about 80%. So there is another problem statement. So you want to know. So now, okay. So in his orchard, he got how big is the orchard? You can talk about it. Then you bring in, why do sampling? So the way you do, so then you go to the body part. The body part, you don't put subtitle like confidence interval or whatsoever. You are giving me tons of theory. You give me theory for what? You are writing a report to solve a problem. You are not writing a report to teach me how to find confidence interval. So it's too theoretical. Some of your 15 pages, 12 pages are theory. You just go to internet, copy the formula, dump it in, that's it. There is no thought of it. There's no flow of it. How can I give you an A? So inside the body, that is how you flow. You say in his orchard, it's very big. There are how many trees? So it's impossible to go and get the weight of every tree. So randomly pick. He asked his worker, randomly pick. For the year 2011, they have harvested So he asked his worker randomly pick the tree and make sure they cut down the fruit, they weigh the fruit. For a sample of, okay, you can have a sample of 30 trees, sample of 20 trees. So you collect different sample. So you go and find out in 1 acres of now one, they can plant how many trees. So your data must be reasonable. And the way you mix statement in the body part, you cannot mix 3-piece statement. You cannot say the data that I collected from the survey is true. How sure are you people tell you the truth? So if, like, for example, my example about the worker, they assume that the worker weigh correctly and the worker really weigh it. These are all the assumptions. Like you are doing a survey, you assume that people answer it genuinely. You cannot say it's true. It's not. You don't know. You cannot make any statement like it's true. This is called statistic. So there you put in your assumption and highlight that. And all your things, your theoretical part must link to your situation. You just dump me all the theory. I read 6 or 7 pages of theory. What for? I can read from book, man. You get me? That's why the more I read your report, the more I told you already. Last week itself, when Wensheng gave me his report, I said too theoretical already. You still don't understand the meaning of too theoretical. Like how to calculate the mean. You just put the formula. You say all the data is there, and that is how you get the mean. How to use calculator? You say you can use your calculator to count the confidence interval. The screen of all the calculator can just put at the reference. If people want to know, then you go there. It shouldn't be part of your report. If you put it as part of the report, don't blame me. At the end of it, I give you a C. Your report is talking about, you are reporting your finding. You are not reporting the theoretical part. I know there are certain places whereby you have to put in some theory. 15 pages, 12 pages are theory. So what do you expect me to give you? I give you a B minus is very good already. It's better for me to score you now than after that when I receive your report tomorrow and the whole thing is like that and I give you a C, you score me. Okay? Then in the body, you talk about your assumption, your limitation, how you link, how you talk about how sample size will affect the thing and how it will affect your justification to the problem here. So this one, okay, I just want to let you know. So this one will take about 1 page. And this part, the inference part, the theoretical part, you have about 14 pages, 13 pages to write. The theory part, the most you can take is, I tell you, 3 pages. For theories. So that means I need 10 pages 10 pages on justification. That is the ratio it should be. So when you talk about justification, you can use, you can say different confidence interval, okay, will give me different justification towards the problem. Then you can talk already. Each sample itself, you can have a few. Then you see if you increase the sample size, what will happen? Then you continue. So, and limitation and assumption is in between. You slot in. And when you talk about, like, for example, my case of talking about mean weight of rambutan produced by a tree in the orchard. Okay, so that is a natural occurrence thing. That depends on the soil at that area. That depends on a lot of other things. You assume the weather is the same. You assume this and that. So I will take a confidence interval of confidence level of 99 or 95. I won't take lower than that because this is a natural occurrence thing. So the variation is very high. So it's no point I find it so precisely. So you explain all this, your understanding of the meaning of confidence interval. You are not, you just say, oh, this is the confidence interval, therefore, based on the confidence interval, that's it. You didn't show me your takeaway, your understanding of confidence interval, how you use that to solve this problem. Then conclusion. Conclusion is good to write what is your takeaway from writing this report. At the end of it, what do you learn? What have you learned from writing this report? That is the most important part because you show it to the reader. You give a thought to what you are writing. It's exactly like every lesson when I teach you math. Do you put in some effort to say what can I take away from this lesson? Got not? That's why you see all your report, those I have read through. There's no takeaway at all. I tell you, listen here carefully. I'm not commenting on other kind of report, but maths report, the takeaway is to show whether you are able to tell people the application of maths. That is a very important part. Okay? So you better read through your things, see how you can modify. You still have one whole day to modify. Yeah, you give a thought to it, you can do it. Don't just copy and paste. When I read through your report, correct, some of you have sent it to me, I can tell you, you be truthful to me. You be truthful to me. Whatever you written down there, how much you understand. The formula, the theory there. I read through a few sentences, I know already. That's why I don't want to correct it, because if I correct it, I'm marking. if you read from internet, whatever is it, if you don't understand, you better don't copy and paste. I know you are copying and paste on. If I want to be very serious, correct, with the thing, correct, I can just face to have online with you individually and ask you to explain exactly each of them. Then I can say that part is not your work. I will say that is plagiarized part. I know there are certain definition cannot be changed. I know how to ask to show that you understand what you have written down. Okay? So please, if your whole report is just theory, 80% of them just theory, tell me central limit theorem, give me all the formula, give me even the sample size formula, all that to me, I tell you, the highest I can give you is a B minus. I tell you now. I'm not saying you cannot put in the formula. You have to know how to put in, where to put in. If I'm your boss, I want you to solve this problem. You dump me with all the formula. Do you think I will pay you for doing that? Definitely not. So you think that I'm your boss, then you will know what are things to produce. Okay, any things that you like to ask? My address, I will post it at WhatsApp. Hello.
Okay, Miss.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Listen, your friend said due date. Midnight. Are you clear? Or to be more exact, 99. Can it be 99? 59. Okay? PM. Okay? Can or not? Email to me. Then after that, you send it to me. And all must be in PDF form, please. PDF form, PDF form. Okay, anything else?
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I show you my amended topic problem statement and claim analysis? So the other friends can also use it as an example.
Okay, why not? Who is that?
Amali.
Okay. Yeah, so I make you co-host,
Okay.
Okay. So you may. Yeah, you may share. I know it's very difficult to write. That's why I give you sample. Okay, maybe you want to go part by part to them.
Yeah. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So this is my problem statement in bold. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I want to find out whether it is worth investing money into the surveillance based on surveillance of the sky for near-Earth objects, based on NASA's current per annum budget, as well as approximately how much it will cost per asteroid. Previously, my problem statement was just, is it worth to invest money? But I decided to expand on the problem statement and add this one more point.
Okay. Continue.
And then here is my explanation of why I chose a sample size of 385. So first we must decide on the sample size you want to take from, because it's such a huge population and the sampling frame we have is also very huge because the database is automated. Therefore, what we can do, you must take a smaller sample size from this database, and how we want to, because there's no correct answer for what sample size you want to take. It's always a choice. So we want to choose it in order that it's as accurate as possible and we minimize the margin of error. So what I did first is to use this equation and decide based on this equation, decide what is the values I want to use for each part of the equation. So the value of P star that I want to use, the value of width I want to use, the value of margin error, which I will derive from the width, and the value of the confidence level I want to use.
Okay. Hold on. I have a question for you. Is, okay, do you give a reason? I think I have responded to you, correct, on this. Did
Yes.
you give a reason why you choose the width?
I'm still unsure on how to choose a reason because when I read NASA's report, most of them use 0.5 as a convention. Because
Okay.
there is no.
So what you can do is, if that is the case, can you put, say, this is from NASA reference. So, but you still don't know why they take that as a reference, as a conventional reference. Yeah. You just be truthful with your writing of report. Because you see, when I read the time correct, I post you with that. So this is that you get the source from NASA.
Okay, because I did mention that it was used out of convention, but I didn't say it was from NASA.
But out of convention. But as far as I know, my study, correct? My study of statistics, there's no such a convention.
Okay, so I'll just put it that it's based on NASA's convention.
Yes. So you have to make a statement that is not generalized. You cannot generalize it.
So we will assume that this convention from NASA applies to all of their statistical processes.
Yeah. There's a reason behind, but I cannot find the reason behind. It's fair. It's fine. You are writing a report. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you see or not, hold on, class?
Yeah.
You see or not, I say, whatever you put down, you cannot just simply put it down. You have to have some truth behind it. Do you get me?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then now that we have our sample size, we can have an estimated proportion value. So this is the graph from that.
So I also want to ask you another question. So you see, this is when you explain to me. When I read in your report in detail, I will say, why, according to what we have studied, okay, our sample size is, as long as NP and NQ greater than 5, then it's fine.
Or
So do you put down that?
Yes, I did. I'm showing it now.
So did you put down that? So you see or not, when you put in certain things, you think of what you have learned. So you put in. So you don't know why NASA take this, but you say, from what I have learned so far about my knowledge of large enough sample size, we go by that criteria.
Yes, I put it here based on the general p-hat rule.
Yeah. So you have to highlight that.
So I should put it in bold or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to highlight that to take the attention of the reader.
Can.
Maybe So you see, I want to teach you how to make the flow. So actually, this one should come first before the NASA assumption.
But I need the NASA assumption to determine the width in
No.
order to find the.
No, this is our general rule. This is our thumbs of rule to determine the sample size.
Okay. So
We have
before,
two thumbs
before
of
the
rule.
before the
okay.
national before the NASA convention, I should mention that before
Yeah.
we want to find the
According to
number of.
central limit theorem.
Okay, okay.
So when we choose sample size here, we are not based on certain things. We are based on what we learned about central limit theorem. What is our thumbs of rule? For sample mean, if the population is not normally distributed, minimum sample size must be 30. If the population is normally distributed, then the sample size can be
30 or more.
Doesn't matter, because the sample mean distribution will be normally distributed.
Ah, okay, I see.
Did you all see or not? When you all talk about sample size, let me tell you, I read all the report. You never go back to your. So I told you already how to choose a sample size. We are based on the very important theorem that we learned to this level. So you can put in, NASA put in that maybe the reason is because the population of asteroid is too big. So a sample size of 30 is not good enough to give you a precise prediction. That's why they give such a large sample size.
Okay, okay.
You see or not?
Yep.
You can imagine how many asteroids are there in the universe.
Yes.
That is what I want you to think, to take away from that. You are dealing with a huge population, enormous population. Not only huge, very, very big.
So just to recap, before I mention why we are choosing this population, I would say that we run into the trouble of the population is too big.
Yeah,
Therefore,
that's why you
based on
think
central-
NASA. You see, now I give you the reason already. To get a precise judgment. Because with the sample size of 30 may not be able to give us a precise prediction of the
Although it
diameter.
does fulfill the rule of thumb, it is not able to.
Although it fulfills the rules of thumb, it may not be able to. So we are not 100% sure. So we use this.
Okay.
So you see, you see, I told you already. Determine sample size. We use our thumbs of rule. Then why NASA use this? You think. That's why whatever you read, you must give a thought to it. You have the basic. Central limit theorem is your foundation. Yeah.
Okay. So this part here where I talk about the rule of thumb should be before lah.
You should put it in front. You see, that is what I mean by the flow.
The flow, yes. All right.
You see or not? Rules of thumbs of rule should come first than any other thing. Then for this situation, why people choose like that? Then you can talk. Then is sensible.
Okay, can. Okay.
You understand?
Shall I carry on?
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we have the sample size, we can start calculating the sample mean and sample standard deviation. So because the sample size is still very big, 385, it is not viable to use the graphing calculator to type in one by one. So instead, Excel was used in order to calculate the sample mean, which was calculated to be 0.024582 kilometers.
Yeah.
and the standard deviation is this.
Mm.
And then we want to demonstrate showing that because we will never be able to know the true population standard deviation.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the
Therefore,
one
we
I
have to
understand.
assume.
The rest I understand fully. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Okay, hold on. Okay, why? Okay, I also realized that many of you all did this part. So what is your intention? My last year students also all use this one. I find that this is not necessary. This is a simulation. You want, you put it in the,
theory part.
you want, you put it in the reference through, you say just through computer simulation. This is trying to explain to you that what do you mean by 95% confidence level? Am I right?
Yes.
So 95% confidence level. Okay. You say you can use computer to get the simulation of it. 90. So the picture is shown in the reference there. Okay, in page 1, you can say that. So then you explain what do you mean 95% confidence level. That means if I repeatedly take the sample, okay, 95% of them will capture the true population mean or true population proportion.
Okay.
And you can even you can even make a value. You say if I take 100 samples, I'm quite sure that 95% of the samples will capture the true population mean.
Okay. So I should just do more explaining, but the diagram itself, I should just put in.
Because the diagram to me is meaningless. Don't you find that?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah. So if you yourself also find that the diagram is meaningless, why you want to put the diagram there? Instead of use word to explain the meaning of 95% confidence level.
Okay, can.
Yeah. Instead of saying 95% of the samples will capture the true population mean, then you use some number. If I have 100 samples, I find the confidence interval, 95 of the confidence interval will capture the true population mean.
Okay.
Isn't it better?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, some more?
Now we use the decided confidence interval to decide, to find the mean diameter, the predicted mean diameter of asteroids, as well as the proportion of asteroids which are more than 35 meters in diameter. So we have this for the mean diameter, this range, and this for the proportion. And this is our interpretation of our results, saying that we are 95% confident. And here we say that the relationship between sample size and margin error, and whether or not it's good to increase sample size or not. So this is my first claim.
Yeah.
So basically is that at least 2% of near-Earth objects are potentially hazardous objects. So this is enough to be a threat to cities and towns according to NASA. I'll add that it's according to NASA.
Okay.
And then this is the confidence interval diagram based on the estimated proportion. So based on the estimated proportion, I calculated the maximum number of asteroids which are PHOs and the minimum number of asteroids which are PHOs. Following that, I predicted the costs needed to survey all the PHOs on both the upper bound and lower bound, and then compared it to the per annum budget of NASA, and say that although it is optimal to minimize costs, it is still within means of NASA to survey the skies for PHOs.
Okay. So do you see, I'm talking about your presentation. You see, your from the secondary, correct. Whenever you want to have a very important inference, correct, just put it in a new paragraph, and you can even put it in a bigger print.
Okay.
You see or not? That is how you capture people's attention of reading the report.
Can. But the content
so that I can know
right?
straight away.
Okay, so you will know straight away that this is important.
That is important. You see or not? You highlight all your important, you can use different typeface.
Can, will do.
You can even say, okay. You can even say in this case, because I read your example, so I can, so you can even put the italic subtitle like that.
Okay.
Budget is this much. Okay. Based on how confidence or what subtitle you want to put?
Maybe cost per asteroid surveyed based on confidence interval.
Or you can say decision making.
Yes, decision. This is to make a decision.
Yeah, you just put italic there, decision making by NASA. So then you just straight away explain. Decision making in investing. Yeah. Decision for making investment by NASA. So then you explain how they make the decision. You see or not? That is how. You don't simply like put in the title as confidence interval as one subtitle. No point. You are solving a problem. Okay, continue.
Okay, so the second claim is basically you want to solve the problem of, can we increase the number of asteroids which are visible based on the technology we have? So we need the asteroids to be at least 22 meters in diameter. So we want to claim first that the mean diameter of asteroids is at least 22 meters.
Yeah.
So based on our confidence interval, it falls within the confidence interval.
Okay, this one I have to read your whole report lah. So as you go on, so now you know what is your path?
Yes, more or less. I know that I have to, for example, the first part, the central limit theorem should be before how I select the sample size. And then as well as presentation, I need to highlight the important parts.
Yeah.
And then the simulations can be deleted, but I need to explain in words why I choose the confidence levels that I chose.
It's not deleted. You put in the reference.
Put it in the reference, yes.
Yeah, so that it won't take up your space. So that you can make full use of your 15 pages allowance, you see or not? So why we want to limit the things to 15 pages? We don't want you to dump all the rubbish to us.
Okay.
Do you know the limitation of the pages? The reason is that.
All right.
Your 15 pages must be very solid kind of things.
Can. And for each section, I will link it back to why NASA has chosen this, for example, like the week I wanted to use.
You try to highlight any of your own thought. Highlight it.
Can.
Any of your takeaway. So at the end of it, when you make a conclusion, is answering your aim or your problem statement, then at last, give some thought to your takeaway from writing this report. That is very important.
For example, my thought can be like, there are so many assumptions made because I do not have access to NASA's full database.
Yeah.
Therefore, something more should be done in future. More factors should be taken into consideration.
Yeah. Or any other thing that you can think of.
Can. I think I can think of it. Okay, I shall stop sharing now.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So class, are you okay? Any question? Anyone else want to share? Yes? Who? Lian? Okay, look. You give me 1001 reason. Why should I extend the due date? Okay, you tell me the reason why I should extend. Huh? Just a day more. So, which day you want?
Miss,
Okay,
of course,
go-
we are really
Okay.
trying our best to finish already, but then, cause like it's due tomorrow, means like we only have one more day left, and cause every single day we're rushing a lot and like staying up till late night to finish it, but then I really don't think we can finish it by tomorrow.
Okay, how many in the class cannot finish it by tomorrow? Okay, who can finish by tomorrow? That would be easier. So many raise hand. So many. Okay. Everyone also got so many things to do. So you give me another reason or other than so many things to do.
No, miss, because like cause before that when you gave the assignment, right? And then that time we had this 30% econs and everyone was rushing it a lot. So we just submitted it this Sunday. Yeah, like a few days ago we just submitted the econs 30% work. And then only after we submitted
Did
it,
you
we
tell
had
the
some
econ
info
teacher
and
you also
permission.
got maths to do?
Yeah, like we did both together, but then because we have both like heavy weightage works together, that's why it's like just really hard to do both.
So did you tell your econ teacher to postpone the due date?
Yeah, it was already extended.
It was already extended. When did I tell you the date, the due date? 3 weeks ago, correct?
Yes, miss, but then is it possible to just give one extra day? Like one day is sufficient.
Young people, it's not a matter of possible or not possible. You want one whole week also, I can give you. Okay. You see or not, the problem is, okay. Is it recorded? It's still recorded. So, but my whiteboard gone already. So, you want extra day. Okay? You want extra day, Okay. So, can or not? Same time. 11:59 p.m. Email. Then after that, you post it to me. PDF form, Okay, anything else?
Yes, okay, miss, thank you so much.
I know you got a lot of things to do. It's not that I don't know. Yes. But, okay, this is out of track. I off record. Can or not? I off record.